At an outer table, Daniel Negreanu jousting with amateur Ryan Tevis. After the turn, Tevis leads with a pair of jacks. He checks to Daniel on a Broadway draw.
Daniel's won 6 bracelets, but as you can see, apparently the World Series of Poker gave him all black leather ones.
Negreanu will bet it.
Tevis, a LA Poker Pro, also sells flywheels for automatic transmissions. I've got to tell you, those guys get all the great women.
Tevis probably not looking to build a big pot, but he will make the call, and they'll see a river. The river is the Queen of Diamonds. Negreanu gets there via Broadway.
What a card. Daniel was married a few years ago and got divorced. I think that's the last time he ran bad. Actually, maybe he ran good then.
Oh, and Tevis looking like he wants to put chips in the middle. 55,500.
Boy, Daniel lives such a good life. He gets the other guy to lead into him here. Daniel with the nuts straight. Maybe the backdoor flush that got there worries him.
Yeah, Tevis has no diamond in his hand. And Daniel with that ace of diamonds, maybe that helps this raise here.
I didn't even see that dot was a diamond. That's a diamond. When he said flush, I'm like, what do I need flush on this spot? Oh my gosh.
If Daniel has a tell, he definitely does not have a flush here.
He didn't even see it was a queen of diamonds, he said. Can I take that raise back?
Well, Tevis has a tell right now. He looks beat.
I have to put my glasses back on.
Well, Tevis considering making this call. It would be for almost another 100,000. He does give it up, and the 2014 Poker Hall of Famer takes about half of Tevis's stack. Folded to Hellmuth with queens. Blinds are up to 4 and 8,000. A raise to 20,000 from Hellmuth. Nate Bierno folds pocket fours. A weak ace into the muck from Rick Barabino. Lance Harris with ace-jack.
Ace-jack's a decent hand, but Hellmuth doesn't like it when other players don't respect his pre-flop raises. Get out now, save yourself the rant later.
He's going to take his chances. Calls for 16,000. Negreanu in the big blind with ace-king of clubs.
3 big hands.
That much.
A 3-bet.
All in.
And all in, you heard him.
56.
Ooh. Harris folds.
We probably have the same hand. Okay, bud. Good luck.
Oh.
Got it?
Queens.
Yeah, it's a race.
I
almost flat. If he didn't do that, I would have flatted, right? Now, we got to put it all in a race situation.
Daniel happier about the race situation than Phil. Phil at risk. He spends entire tournaments trying to avoid this exact situation.
No, it's fine. I'm still here either way. Good luck, kid.
All right, Daniel.
I know you had good cards,
hoping
but I
you
wasn't
had
going to pull
jacks.
that. Yeah. If he didn't raise, if he didn't call, I would have just flatted too.
Yeah, I know.
But with that extra money,
Much better for us not to race. But
yeah. Well, he came in and had too much gravy in there. Yeah. Had to come get it.
I don't blame you.
Clash of Titans. And Negreanu wastes no time scoring top pair.
You know, indeed, if Daniel just flats it pre-flop, maybe Phil gets away from the queens on the flop. Hellmuth now in deep trouble.
It is business, but these two are good friends. I'm sure Negreanu feels bad for Phil. Jack.
Hey, still got life.
A gut shot for Phil.
Queen or a 10. Queen 10 is the hand that you've hated your whole life. Now you need a queen or a 10.
Queen or a 10 or Hellmuth is gone.
The river card is a 5, and it all comes crashing down for Phil Hellmuth.
Sorry, bud. Yeah.
I figured I'd have the queens or something big against you. I knew it was going to be a monster.
Well,
Hellmuth's 8th main event cash is quite a disappointing one for him.
All right, action folded
22.
to the 2-time World Series of Poker Player of the Year pocket sevens, 22,000.
I'm gonna knock you out. Mama said knock you
He's
out.
moved on to LL Cool J
Sweet one
now.
to switch, right?
Mike Cloud doesn't want to stick around. What do you think about De Leon?
I don't think De Leon is playing here unless he has pocket quads.
Jay Kim on the button.
I was doing it. You got me.
He folded. Austin Lewis in the small blind,
much is
ace,
it?
king of spades, shoves.
Can't have him doing that to me every time.
142.
Folding. You got two, huh?
143,000.
So that's just do math thing. Okay.
Here's my quick math. Call because you have enough chips.
Hard to make a pair.
You might have a little itty bitty pair.
Not a huge chunk of Negreanu's stack, but he is very careful when he gets into possible race situations.
You might be just doing that bully thing on me too. Worked for you last time. Try it again. Okay, good luck, bud.
You've got sevens?
Yeah.
Wow, Austin channeling Daniel.
How'd you know sevens?
Wow.
Pretty good read.
Yeah. Daniel gets Danieled.
Okay, if the flop comes with a seven,
I just wish
apologize
you
in
had a
advance.
7 of diamonds instead of that 7 of spades.
Yeah.
Lewis is going to need help from the board to stick around. 10-5, 10-1 spade.
Not much there for the 34-year-old personal trainer from Grand Prairie, Texas.
What do you say, Jack?
It's always good for the sweat. Jack of spades. Just give him
Then
every
you can
out.
just come with Jack.
Turn card is a 9, so now another 9 would counterfeit Daniel's sevens.
Or a 9.
Or 9, yeah. All these extra outs.
Ace, king, or 9, or Lewis is gone.
The river card is a 4. Austin Lewis rides off into the sunset.
Just like do it.
Good game, boss. Take care, man.
Austin Lewis goes out
guys.
in 333rd, his first main event cash.
KidPoker's in good shape.
Paid in full.
Daniel will call from the small blind. Fernando Perez in the big.
Running hot.
Gets out of the way. Daniel's got chips, aura, and green tea. He is ready.
Some lightning in a bottle. Thinking of a flop.
Here is the flop. 8, 10, 9,
Check.
both with straight draws. Chops open-ended.
That's not the flop Daniel was thinking of, though.
Daniel checked. And there is 26,000 from Chop.
Understandably betting his up and down straight draw in position.
Daniel calling.
Negreanu provides resistance. I might have folded and sipped more tea.
Turn card now is a jack. Negreanu gets there with a nut straight. The best that Chop can hope for is a chop. 13 years with you. I've never said that.
I wish it had been 15 before we heard it.
Both check.
Nice check back from Chop.
4 of spades on the river. Daniel's hand is best.
He's running so hot, he announced it.
And he's going to try to get some value here on the river. 80,000 to Dimitri. He folds.
Oh, why don't you have a queen?
Well done by Chop. He didn't give Daniel a dime after the flop.
Great. No, I'm just running hot. I keep catching everything.
Randy Angelo opened the action under the gun with ace-king for 22,000.
Okay.
Daniel in the small blind comes along with ace-7 suited. And Fernando Perez with tray deuce of hearts takes a bargain flyer in the big blind. Perez, 49-year-old Mexico City attorney. Here is the flop. Tray 10-9, nut flush draw for Negreanu, bottom pair for Perez, ace-king looking a little pale. Check, check.
Daniel just went small ball. Some folks would have put a donk bet out there with the nut flush draw.
Checked around. Turn card. Uh-oh, deuces spades, nut flush for Negreanu, bottom 2 for Perez.
Well, Daniel's made his hand, so no reason to keep the pot small any longer.
He bets 35,000.
Threes and deuces will be good here at least 75% of the time, but if your opponent has a spade flush, threes and deuces won't be good here at least 75% of the time.
100% of the time.
Whatever.
Perez with the raise to 105,000 with 2 pair. He thinks he's in the driver's seat. D'Angelo folds his king-high flush draw.
Daniel has 3 options here. Call, raise, or fold.
Fold?
Sure, it would be an avant-garde play, but he didn't expect a raise. He prefers small ball, and the pot's getting big. He's got the nuts now, but he still could lose on the river. You can never be too careful.
How did you get this job?
I think it was on Craigslist.
We answered the wrong ad. There is the re-raise from Negreanu to 250.
That's got to be a jolt to the amateur.
Yeah, really should send a signal to Perez. Attorneys are trained to pick up little signals, right?
Attorneys are trained to double bill.
Well, he does make the call for 145 more. Negreanu sitting pretty. River card, 5 of clubs, no help to Perez. He's toast.
All in.
And that would put Perez all in.
Now, this is an easy fold to me. You just don't want to call off all your chips with too small a pair. You can only beat a bluff. Daniel bet the turn. He re-raised you on the turn with the flush out there.
And Daniel's not one to move in lightly.
Jeez. Okay, I will leave you the spade.
He believed him.
Daniel's running hot.
A nice pot giving the dangerous pro more ammunition. Negreanu back over 1 million. Daniel Negreanu with pocket 9s and a raise to 35,000.
Here he comes again.
Donald Blum, 52-year-old medical engineer with King Jack. He'll fold him.
A little change of mind.
Schwalik folds to the button. Omri Moga with pocket 4s, 30-year-old Israeli-born Toronto resident.
He studied journalism at Concordia University in Montreal. I believe they are the Boilermakers.
He acts as a host at a poker club. He calls small blind Chris Horder with ace-queen.
He attended Bucks County Community College near Philadelphia. I believe they are also the Boilermakers.
He's living in New Jersey now to play online poker.
All in.
And Horder, one of the short stacks here, says all in for 270.
Ace-queen, of course, a kissing cousin of pocket jacks. It never wins.
And the big blind is DeCarlo, a tray into the muck. And Daniel, the original raiser with the pocket 9s, counting out at least a call.
Pay.
There it is, the call. Moga with the 4s.
And the other guy folds. And you've
He's
got
right.
good cards. Okay, it's one of those races. All right. The classic confrontation. 270 he's got, yeah? Hopefully I don't have to pay it. It just comes back here. 9s have been running, huh? Haven't they?
Have they?
I don't know. Well, they were against you the first hand. They're due or they're running. Oh, I don't know.
He's
I
right
would've
about
done the
that.
same thing with your hand. It's a good cards, right?
I like my
Ace
hand.
and a queen. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Forget about it.
Whatever happens, happens.
All right, here's the flop. Horder at risk, and he finds a queen. Moga sees a 4 coming the flop.
What do we have for backdoors? Nothing. Just needs to come a 9.
Deuce of clubs.
Club. That doesn't change anything.
At least you have the 9 of clubs.
Right.
You got
See?
2 live
Doesn't
9s.
change anything.
And another club.
Flush.
Flush over flush. Moga would have lost.
That's unlikely. You make a flush with the 9s.
I flopped a set, yeah, I would have lost.
Wow.
Horder with the double up. When you're stacked, you can afford to race. Daniel takes a hit, but is still over $1 million. Welcome back to the 2015 World Series of Poker main event telecast presented by DraftKings. He's not the force he once was, but men win used to be feared in tournaments. He's gone in 211th place. Negreanu with King 10 off will come along from the big blind. Heads up. Moga and Negreanu. The flop brings top pair for Moga, a Broadway draw for Daniel, who checks.
Moga, born in Israel. His family moved to Montreal when he was 5, so he said, what the heck, I probably should go with them.
He mostly plays cash games.
Much?
This is his
30,000?
second main event. He bets 30,000.
Raise.
Daniel's going to raise it up with the draw to 85,000.
Oh, Daniel repping a big hand. If I'm Moga, that check raise would make me think I might be drawn thin here if Daniel has like ace-king or ace-queen or ace-4.
Moga with that ace. And Daniel now knows the continuation bet was not an empty gesture. Turn card now, tray of hearts, 3 hearts out there.
Daniel might put Moga on a flush draw. Plus, Daniel has no hand.
He checks again. Moga says no more check raises for you, KidPoker. River card is a 7, so Moga is best. Daniel, though, reaching for chips. Oh, greener with 25K each, almost a pot-sized wager, 225.
Boy, check raise on the flop, check the turn, bet the river. If I'm Moga, I don't know what I'd do here. I do know I would take off the shades and maybe try to stare into Daniel's vegan soul for insight.
Oh, you notice Daniel doesn't have the nut flush because Moga has the ace of hearts. He's got a pair of aces.
Daniel with the river bluff.
Moga gives up the best hand.
Ace 4.
I did not have ace 4.
You had squad douche with a side of avocado.
Blinds right now at 12 and 24,000 with a 4K ante. Moga with the sevens raises to 52,000. Chris Horder recently doubled up. We'll sit this one out. Sal DiCarlo, I think he's a Chiefs fan.
I just look at DiCarlo and I am ready for some football.
Are you ready for some poker, Sal? No, he'll fold. Now our chip leader at this table, De Silva with 5-4 of diamonds. He'll make the call with a pipe dream. Daniel with ace-king off. And he says all in for 474,000.
474.
These are two Canadians thriving here in Las Vegas. We can't build that border fence soon enough.
Daniel shoved 19 big blinds.
I got good cards. You guys look at me like I'm bluffing. Give me that. There, give me the stare. Yeah, I don't know. I got good cards. That's why I'm in.
How much?
474.
You've got to love Daniel out there exposed, talking, no hoodie or shades. You want to read them? Go ahead and read them.
Everybody knows.
All
They
in.
all know.
Oh, Moga re-raised all in to isolate Daniel, and Pesh does fold.
Correct for me to cheer for you.
What's that?
but-
No pair. Pair of sevens? Wow, really? You thought I was bluffing?
What's wrong with a pair of sevens?
Okay, just gotta win a race. Okay, we need an ace or king, please.
Moga trying to outrun Daniel's run good.
Moga should rub his hands together and say, we need quad sevens, please.
Negreanu at risk. Here is the flop. And Daniel wastes no time in hitting that ace.
Can't be that easy.
But
Can't just
Moga
be
with a
easy.
flush draw.
You don't see Daniel uneasy this often.
11 outs, 2 times.
He's a bit uneasy here. Not ready to exit stage right from this main event.
His whole demeanor changed. It's a heart on the turn.
A 7 or any club knocks out Daniel Negreanu.
This could be it for KidPoker.
Let's do it.
The river card, the 6 of diamonds, and Daniel with the double up.
Yeah, that was good. All right. Phew, scary.
DiCarlo, early position with pocket aces.
He final tabled a World Series event in 2013, finishing third.
Well, you want action, but not too much action. He saw Daniel with aces go against 3 others, and that's really a sweat. He does raise it to 52,000. De Silva with Jack 10 off.
Green hoodie, green shades. If he makes it to day 6, he has planned a blue and blue ensemble, and then on day 7, turquoise and turquoise.
Good to plan ahead. He does fold. Negreanu with queens. Uh-oh, he just calls.
Well, no 3-bet from Daniel, playing small ball.
Well, the main event is tough enough on day 1, but if you find yourself as an amateur here on day 5, it's like being a little leaguer in the majors. On the button, Khalili folds 9-8 suited.
Give me those cards.
Bottom Zalen in the small blind folds. And now Omri Moga in the big blind with ace-6.
Percentages aren't up yet, but I suspect this would be a bad spot for Moga.
Well, a guy can dream, can't he? You got aces, queens, and ace-6. 3 players will see this flop, and here it is. 7, 9, 6. Pocket aces are still best.
Moga's percentage actually went up from 6 to 9 here, which might allow him to bet. In his defense, he flopped the bottom pair, and Antonio Esfandiari has taught us how hard it is to make a pair. Where is Antonio?
Antonio has moved on to building his tent for the Burning Man Festival, no doubt. Moga does bet with bottom pair, 63,000, and now DiCarlo says, I've got aces. There's a straightening board out there. What to do, what to do.
Well, he's got to wonder about that bet and the fact that that's the type of flop that often hits Negreanu.
DiCarlo did raise pre-flop with the aces. The 2 hangers on still sticking around. Now he does raise to 155,000 with the hammer to Daniel now.
DiCarlo clearly likes his aces. Now, Daniel knows that flop likely didn't hit DiCarlo. He had raised from early position, so he probably has big cards. Even if Daniel thinks he has the best hand here, he generally opts for pot control.
Negreanu with 2 others in this pot. How much could he control it? With the queens, he's gonna raise to 255.
Now for Moga, you know, at this point, Antonio shoves and then just makes running quad sixes.
Right. For Moga with bottom pair, he's committed about a third of his stack and now folds. Back to DeCarlo now.
DeCarlo with the best hand here, but when he keeps his hoodie covering much of his face, as he often does, it is extraordinarily difficult for him to eat lunch or dinner. Thing is, Daniel here could have like 10-8 suited, 9-8 suited, 9-7 suited. Daniel's 3-bet has got to worry you when you got pocket aces here.
DeCarlo playing with a lot of green chips. Daniel doesn't like that. Oh, 4-bet in progress. There's your sign, Daniel. A raise to 430,000.
Once DeCarlo re-raises, Daniel is very rarely ahead and usually very, very behind.
You have, what did he say, 3 9s? What? Did you say 3 9s?
Raise to 430.
Is that what he said? I thought he said 3 9s.
Daniel's hearing things
in my
now.
head, I heard 3 9s.
Well, I said I wanted a 7 and 7, but I don't think Daniel heard that.
I thought I heard your brain say it. His brain said 3 9s. Everyone heard it, no? Or just me?
Well, whether it's 3
The universe
9s
told me. I don't
or
know.
pocket aces, Daniel needs a queen.
I don't have 3 9s, so you win.
Queens in the muck.
Good hand.
You want to see it?
Sure.
No.
Then why'd you ask? I couldn't beat 3 9s.
You want to see it? Yeah, thought so.
You want to see it? No.
Cost him a quarter of his stack, but it could have been
I
worse.
guess I'll have
Von Zelen with 9s. He'll raise.
my first table, the first 5 guys that sat down were over 60. It's a good
And
table.
if you keep going in that direction, how would you like to be the youngest guy at the final table?
Yeah, I'll
That'd be
take
fun.
it.
61-year-old Blumenfield folds. On the 33-year-old DeCarlo with ace-king.
When he takes the hoodie off his mouth, DeCarlo is the worst player in the history of his hometown of St. Louis, Missouri. See, now he's back in beast mode.
He's got beast mode hand. And there is the 3-bet to 132,000. A quick fold from Pesh, thank you. Pocket kings for Negreanu in the small blind.
It's been raised and re-raised, and Daniel with a monster.
With that monster, a lot of players snap shove, but Daniel taking his time. Negreanu with re-raising chips, and there is the 4-bet to 332.
Small ball be damned.
Howard gives up the big blind. Von Zelen folds his 9s. Now left to DeCarlo with ace-king.
They call my nickname, Cold 4-bet. It's my style.
Cool 4-bet.
Right? That's what they call me, Cold 4.
Mr. Cold 4.
Yep. 'Cause that's how I've been playing for years. I love it. It's so fun.
Mullen.
Wow, a re-raise to put Negreanu all in. He didn't see that coming.
I'm going to need a moment. I have a very, very, very good hand. I'm not kidding.
It's a 5-bet. It's for the rest of Daniel's stack, and he wants to make sure he has not run into aces.
A lot of players snap call right there.
Said that. I'm probably in. I just want to make sure there's no way I can get away.
These opportunities don't happen often.
Doesn't seem possible Daniel would fold kings here and leave himself with 37 big blinds.
This could be it. Geez, you must have it, no? I've only done it, I don't know, twice in my life. I was right once, wrong the other time.
Yeah, I remember Daniel talking about this once. He's referencing the fact that he's only folded pocket kings pre-flop twice in his life. One time his opponent had aces, the other time his opponent had queens.
This is how you torture Daniel Negreanu.
DeCarlo's pretty snug. Daniel knows He likely is not 5-betting with anything worse than pocket queens. You don't think it can be kings because you've got kings. It's probably not ace-king because you've got kings.
What reason to think it's not aces? It's what Daniel has to figure out here then.
I call.
Here we go.
You got him?
Good call. He's good. Yeah, that's what I thought. Nice hand, Daniel, so far.
Negreanu in good shape, but he's at risk, and he's again uneasy. 2.5 million chips in the middle.
Thanks, bud. Good 9.
Should not root for you, but I will.
Thank you, bud.
It is DiCarlo who is on his feet now. He's the one that has to improve to knock out Negreanu. And his best shot is just to find an ace. Here we go, Negreanu at risk. All diamonds.
No diamonds.
You gotta pay diamond, though.
At least I'd still be here.
Turn card. Another diamond. Negreanu could get flushed out of a full double up.
The ace of diamonds, he no longer wins, right? So you can look at it that way.
Exactly.
Only the ace of spades or ace of hearts knocks out KidPoker.
A lot of the crowd on their feet here. The Rivers of Black, 7, a full double up for Daniel Negreanu to nearly 2.6 million. All right, actually, Daniel Negreanu, there is what the doctor ordered, pocket aces.
When the best player has the best hand, it never seems fair.
A raise to 95,000 from the man number 1 on the all-time money earned and 2-time World Series Player of the Year. Now folded to Neil Blumenfield. Neil with pocket jacks.
This reminds me, my least favorite hand in Omaha has to be ace-queen, jack-jack.
Wow. Worlds converge. Amateur from San Francisco, but a very active player. He has a top 300 finish from 2012. He raises to 210. Buckemeyer, easy fold. Back to Daniel with the aces.
Well, he prefers small pots pre-flop, but with pocket aces, I don't think he minds a bigger pot.
And he certainly has to figure Neil has a hand after re-raising.
5-10.
And there is the 4-bet.
Didn't Daniel say earlier in the main event, his nickname is Cold 4?
Right.
Because he's Mr. 4-bet.
And with the jacks, Blumenfield will come along. $1.1 million already in the pot.
And Jack's already crushed.
Yeah, that is true. Neil not afraid to play with the big stacks with the big pros. Still, aces versus jacks.
Yeah, very safe flop for both hands. That's good news for Negreanu, bad news for Blumenfield.
Daniel
400.
will put out 16 green chips, 400,000.
If Negreanu hadn't 4-bet pre-flop, Blumenfield might raise here, but I think he'll just crawl to the turn.
With 4 lavender chips, Neil will call. Almost 2 million now in the middle. Turn card. Queen of spades. Daniel now checks. Maybe he put Neil on queens and has to proceed with caution.
Yeah, so Daniel will revert to small ball just in case. Oh.
Ditto.
Oh. Act like you're going to bet and then check is one of the most reliable I'm not that strong tells.
Third spade hits the river. Maybe more reason to worry.
I think Daniel's got to figure his pocket aces are best now.
Blumenfield has to feel pretty good about the jacks.
I check.
Check, check. Aces beat jacks.
I was thinking 10s or queens.
Yeah, I was too.
Scary. Yeah. Could have bet one there.
King queen, so he's done that already. A raise to 200,000. Ace queen for Steinberg, a 2012 bracelet winner.
Fantasy sports savant, and also a good-looking guy.
You're just enthralled by the tie. He calls, part of his 5.7 million chip stack. Schwartz folds. Folded to Negreanu in the small blind. Queen, jack suited.
Oh, this is 3 hands that can get you into trouble. 4 hands that can get you into trouble.
Yeah, Negreanu called Canuli with jack 9.
Canuli getting a great price out of the big blind, better than 6-1 to call. Come on in. It's a bargain circus.
He's the big stack. Could he be thinking raise? Nope, just a call. So it is 4 players to the party.
Everybody's got a card that somebody else has.
All right, here's the flop. Four-way action. Jack, Jack 7. Negreanu and Canuli flop trips. Toole and Steinberg come up empty. Check, check.
Two slow playing jacks. And Toole can bet here because he knows the turn of the river will be king, king.
He does check, though.
Steinberg in position in this spot bets 82% of the time.
He checks.
Oh.
Turn card 5 of spades. The bad hands are now drawing dead. Negreanu out of the gate with 425, half the pot.
Well, Canuli isn't folding, but I don't think he's raising either.
There is the call. You were right once.
Steinberg in position in this spot folds 82% of the time. Ha!
The odds were with him. So we are heads up. This could get ugly for Canuli.
Yeah, he's going to regret maybe coming into this one cheap.
River card is the king. You were right about that. Negreanu's kicker will play.
Trip jacks, big kicker. Daniel's indoor soccer coach would know to bet here.
Daniel with a lot of green and some lavender, 925.
900.
Sometimes you get a good price and it doesn't work out. Like when they offer 2-for-1 at the market on new cereal. You buy it and then the cereal tastes real bad.
I have a jack.
I have a jack too.
Queen.
Yep, Daniel approaching 7 million. Negreanu under the gun with pocket eights. He, Schwartz, and Tom Canuli keep trading the chip lead at this featured table. Daniel raises to 275.
The main event is an exhausting, long grind. If Daniel seems well rested, he is. He has a trailer parked here at the Rio, and on dinner breaks, he'll take a nap out there for an hour or so. It's a big advantage. Sometimes I want to catch a few winks here in the booth, and they won't let me.
Who won't let you?
Just call the action stretch.
Justin always folds as though he deserves better.
How much is it is?
Magner folds. Amar now in the big blind. Pocket deuces.
All in.
He says all in for $1,160,000.
This will be an easy call for Daniel. He can afford it.
You got like $1 million or so.
It's a little bit over $1 million.
I call.
Yep, there it is, and he will try to knock out Amar.
The likable cardiologist picks the wrong spot again.
81%.
How does he know it's 81%?
Good luck, man.
Thank you. Good luck.
Daniel's on his feet. Is he nervous about this?
No, it's the doctor who needs a doctor.
Yeah, it was. I only had eights.
All right, so deuces against eights. Daniel trying to retake the chip lead at this table. Here it is, 5-4 ace.
Ooh, you got more outs, buddy. It's always fun, right?
Daniel makes it feel enjoyable when you bust to him.
Amar with a wheel draw.
He needs a 2 or a 3, right? We need all the other ones. Explaining poker to my friends who've never played before.
How about me?
Another
Okay.
ace.
Still a deuce or a 3.
The doctor needs a deuce or a 3.
The river card, 9 of clubs, and that brings the main event to a close for Wasim Amar.
What a run, and what a joy to be around Wasim Amar.
31st and an impressive payout of nearly 212 large coming his way. Quite a step up from his 8,700 in career earnings. Daniel with $7.5 million. Action on Federico on the button with ace-5 suited. Negreanu open with pocket queens right on his right elbow.
When he was in Australia, Federico also worked carrying watermelons on a farm. I'd imagine he would pick and carry maybe 2 watermelons an hour.
Buderoni with the suited ace. He and Daniel have the biggest stacks at this table, both over 10 million. Buderoni calls for 275. He'll go heads up against his poker idol.
Buona fortuna.
Grazie.
But not in this spot.
Oh, why not in this spot?
Because I'm here too.
Oh, it's okay.
Here's the flop. Queens are still good for Daniel. He checks. Buderoni still with just ace high. Bets 225.
Well, buono fortuno with that bet.
Daniel not wanting to play a huge pot with that overcard out there, calls. 5 of diamonds, that does pair Buderoni. Daniel checks again.
Federico says he carried those watermelons in scorching heat for 10 hours a day for very little money, and it made him appreciate the value of money.
And watermelons, I'd imagine. Buderoni checks back this time. Good info for Daniel, jack of clubs on the river. So Daniel's queens are best. Now reaching. Negreanu bets 575.
Is that a thin value bet?
You wouldn't know a thin value bet if it sat in your lap.
Hey, if something sat in my lap, I would know it. Well, if Federico appreciates the value of chips, he won't call here.
No, Jack 9, something like that.
Huh?
Jack 9.
Well, that's a 2 pair. It's a good hand. You can't beat it, I can tell. You wouldn't ask otherwise.
Hope he raises you now.
It was kind of slow roll if I...
How strong is that? That's my goal. Say something like that to Daniel and then go. Super strong, right? He'd fold everything but the nuts, right?
Is this against the
You can't do that.
This
in
is
the open
really.
pot. You just
what
can't.
is he, yeah.
Like, that's actually not legal. You can't. I'm sorry.
I mean, he's
You can't.
suggesting an action. That's
I mean,
insane.
like, you're basically.
And yesterday was too much.
Yeah, that, I mean, that,